Today's adventure begins here off of Water and Market Street, where they connect next to the Cornerstone Deli and Market. Over there at the Fountain, Market Square, Celebration, Florida. A little info. Let me flip the screen up. Turn the camera around for the intro. Welcome everyone. Adam, the Woo here. What is that behind me there? You know what? Wait a second. Oh, it's a, well, there's a clock back there next to the bank, but that is a meter of some sort. I couldn't really tell what that was, but I kind of was looking at over my shoulder of peripheral vision. Did not recognize what that was. That was a car going by very quickly. Really? Not that quickly, but it has a pretty decent sized engine that makes a little bit of noise down that direction. A little downtown area. I have an announcement. I'm inviting you to join me for the announcement, shall you? I am not going to Disneyland. I have decided as of a couple hours ago not to go to Southern California, not to get on the plane that I have a flight booked for Thursday in the afternoon. I'm going to fly out of Orlando International, have a layover either Atlanta or in Dallas, can't remember which, and then into Santa Ana, John Wayne. Scrapping that idea, and I'm just going to stay here up until, so I'm staying in Florida up until just after Mother's Day. Be spending some time with family, which they don't live too far, 30 minutes or so from me, my mom and dad. So we got Mother's Day coming up. After Mother's Day, I'm going to go on a road trip. I'm going to go on a extensive 2-week road trip, maybe, into some areas. I know I do a lot of road trips cross country, back and forth to California, where I have a place out there as well. Now, officially, if you want to get down to the nitty-gritty, I have a Florida driver's license. Because I have moved back to Florida, a little bit of a misstep, not a misstep, but a uncalculated, what's the word? An uncalculated problem on my part when I did that back in December, moving back out here, even though kept my place in Orange County, California, got a place here in Celebration in the greater Orlando area, you know, close to the greater Orlando area. And because I did that, there is I say the word gray area, there is a very thick gray area when it comes to going to the Southern California theme parks that have reopened. Six Flags, which is not checking, you know, IDs at all to go in. Universal Studios, which I've heard is also not checking, and Disneyland, which opens up on April 30th, which, just to go out on a limb, I will say there's a good possibility that they will not be thoroughly, you know, digging deep into all the nooks and crannies of where people are from. And with that in mind, I thought, you know, I could take my lease, I could take some bills from my place in California, and that would classify as what they quote on the website, say, well, I say quote now, I might be paraphrasing. It's more or less, it says, I was gonna say don't quote me on this, but I just said quote. It is a quote. Proof of residency may, M-A-Y, be required, not will, not this is the driver's license that you need, this is the California ID that you need. It just says proof of residency may be required. And in my, not the smartest brain ever, thought, you know what, I am classified to go there. And I still feel like that would be allowed. I don't think there would be any issue. I do have some cast member friends. I have other friends who are really good friends with a lot of cast members. So across the board, talked to maybe a half a dozen or so of folks that work there. And they asked around, and none of those 5 or 6 folk knew the exact answer. No one had a specific, definite answer. Yes, when you walk up, you're going to have to take your California driver's license and show it. There is no answer anywhere. So I called the Disneyland Resort a number of times over the last couple of days. Well, I say a number, twice. Stayed on hold for well over an hour because with the reopenings, it will give you a automated message saying that they are in very lengthy times to get to talk to a person and not an automated system. They send you to the website. And after about an hour, hour and a half, well, an hour, not quite an hour and a half, I'm over exaggerating, about an hour, give or take a minute. I got a little stressed out over it, and I thought I'm just gonna call back. And that never panned out. I never got a definitive answer at all on if I could get that. Every place I searched online, and I feel like that even the customer service cast member that would have answered probably would not have had that. Now I'm rambling a lot, I'm talking a lot. All that is really unimportant because I could still get on the plane, I could still go to California. I could print out a lease from my place, all that I have stated. But I've decided not to. I overlooked in my excitement, maybe intentionally, maybe because I just was not thinking that it still existed. But there is not a mandatory, there is not a you must, there is no law, but it says that one should, it is, what's the word? It is hinted at, and I'm trying to think of the exact word. I guess I could look it up on the phone, but it says it's basically, you should, it is their opinion, the state, that when you fly in or drive in, that you should lay low for 7 to 10 days. You know what the word is. So word's overused, so I'm not gonna use it. Laying low for 7 to 10 days. I would not have been able to do that, nor would I have done that knowing me, because after a couple days I get stir crazy. So that factored into, I did not think, I wasn't thinking that through in my excitement. Probably push that out of there. Now, once I said it's not a law, it's not a definitive you have to do that. If you break that and you can live with yourself, there's no punishment for that. I would, if I was a betting man, I would say there are plenty of people, even Californians, that are crossing over to go to Vegas, back and forth on a continual basis out of state and then back in, that will be and have been attending the openings of the theme parks in Southern California, guaranteed. So that was not the definitive factor. But adding all these things that I have mentioned onto the fact that I now have something else has reared its head. Check my mailbox, and I have received jury duty for the end of the month. Now I'll probably do an episode about this, and I'm not gonna be able to film in said jury duty because you can't take cameras in, at least I don't think you can. But I will maybe do a wrap up, explain where I'm going, show what the process is from the outside, talk about it, and just explain what it's like during this situation to be called for jury duty. That is towards the end of the month, which would interfere with what I kind of wanted to do. Now, it's not just that. Well, I guess it is kind of just that. I could avoid that altogether, but that would come back to haunt me as well. You know, obviously I stated it, being open out there, so I can never avoid it. But if you avoid anything you receive in the mail, eventually you were going to get called for jury duty. This has happened to me years and years ago. And they will just send another one and say, did you forget that you have this? And you say, dang, I thought they were gonna forget. They don't forget. So my thought is, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do my jury duty. So that's what I'm gonna do. So factor all of these things in. Now I will go on record to say that I personally believe there would have been no issue for me to get in. And I am interested in communicating with my acquaintances, friends, close friends, and just see, well, not even, just anyone in general that I know. I know a lot of people that are going, a lot. I will probably know 100 people, in some roundabout way that are going on opening day. And it's gonna be interesting to see what actually happens at the gate. And I'm going to say that it will not be that intense of a regulation. Don't think it would. But I have made my decision. I have some other things I want to do. And to be honest, I really, it's almost like a weight has been lifted off my shoulder since this happened. Since I decided today, I don't have any kind of regrets thinking, man, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. I could not even be expressing this to the world and just wait till the night before, get on a red eye, fly out there, and still do it. But because I am stating this is putting into motion, I am sticking to, well, and because of the said jury summons, which I don't know how long that will last, hopefully just one day. All that aside, I'm gonna miss the Disneyland opening, and I am fine with that. I will be out in Southern California, July, August, September, full on summer, and I can go to the parks then. It'll be there, it'll be open, and it'll be a little bit more lenient on. So that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking about. Got some stuff going on this week. Don't want to give too much away. And I know, yes, I will state this. I know I have been very, very heavy on not only the weight side, but the theme park aspect side, Disneyland in particular. Yes, I know, I moved to Celebration, Florida, a community started by Walt Disney World. I do have an annual pass. I just like going to the parks, and sometimes even later in the evening, like right now as the recording of this, it is about to be nightfall. I will upload it the following morning. Usually what I would do is film during the day, edit at night, and then upload the next morning. And sometimes around this time I think, I'm gonna see if there's any reservations. I will check, there is. I will procure a reservation. By the way, I do not have a piping hot caffeinated beverage. I'm going with a cold water, which I need to take a little sip of. And I will go to the park and I'll think, I'm gonna take a day off. I'm not gonna film, I'm gonna take a day off of filming. And then I think, why? This is fun. I'm having fun at the park, I'm enjoying it. Grab the camera, film it, throw an episode together, and some enjoy watching it. So that's why there is an exorbitant amount of Disney content lately, because I enjoy Disney. I love Disney. I will always love Disney. I've always loved Disney. I went to my parents' house earlier today. We discussed a lot of this, whether I should go, whether I should not go, and the whole conundrum with how it just coincidentally, this jury summons fell into my lap at the same time as the historic openings of Walt Disney's original Magic Kingdom. But when you live somewhere officially, you will get those in the mail. And now I am a Florida resident. Even though in the last 12 months, I spent more time in Southern California. And I assure you, I will spend more time at my place out there than I will here over the next few years. But yet, I have no plans on giving up either one. So it's a weird, like I said, I say gray area. That might not even be the word. I don't know what kind of area it is, but it's an area, a confusing area. But specifically, in my wallet, a Florida driver's license, which makes me a Floridian. That's a nice, is that classic truck alert? Maybe, it might be a classic truck alert. And I don't have any, I have no disappointments with that being It's a fact. But I do love California. You know, it's gonna be weird not being there. I'll be watching a lot of videos from the opening day. I am looking forward to seeing the new Snow White overlay. I am looking forward to what's being done in Haunted Mansion. I am looking forward to seeing a lot of my friends, which will be very emotional, walking down Main Street, USA. I am excited for everyone. And I wish I could be there with you, but you know, there's a lot on the plate. There's a lot to unwrap. There's a lot to unravel with this scenario. And I feel right not trying to go through with it. And the other thing I mentioned, obviously, which, you know, I was talking to my mom about this. It's almost like it's a sign. You ever have things happen where so many things start to get peppered in, where it's like, oh yeah, all steam ahead. This is the plan. This has been my plan since last year when I bought the Disneyland ticket before, when was it? It was June of last year, because I felt that they were going to announce the opening around the 65th anniversary, which was, now this was the wheels were in motion for this last year, even before, you know, when the tickets went on sale, or tickets closed down in June of last year. It's been June since they closed the tickets down. They didn't reinstate them until the 15th of this month. But in my mind, I thought I should get a ticket, even though I was a pass holder, and now pass holders don't exist at Disneyland. They do here at Walt Disney World. But I had that ticket, and I thought, I am gonna get in on Disneyland's opening day. I'm looking forward to it. It was just like, you know, it's almost like, what's the word? You're like a bull in a china shop. You're not even thinking. You're just like, you have the little, what do they call those, blinders on, running through. And that's how I was. And sometimes little signs, they get kind of dropped down from the heavens, one after the other. You know, like we see this little regulation that maybe you should be following. Even though it's not a law, it is something they say. You should probably do this. This is what our state guidelines. Not all state guidelines are like California. California is one of the stricter, or at least what they are saying that you probably should be doing, as opposed to, you know, some of the other states, like the one I'm in right now. Very lenient in comparison. So just sometimes it's good when things happen and it makes you think, makes you step back, say, what am I doing? What am I doing right now? I wish I was doing it, but it just wasn't in the cards. Too many negatives to the positive. As much of an advocate and as much of a man, just into the work of Walt's and Disneyland, to me it's a big deal, but it will always be there, and I will rest assured, I will make up for my absence in the future. This is beautiful. Just wanted to throw that out there into the open air. Got some stuff happening, working on some projects. Might even take a couple days off. I hardly ever take a couple days off anymore. I say I'm going to. These are discussions I always have with friends and family and about this. It's like, why? Sometimes I think, why am I doing this so much? Should I be putting, here's an interesting topic too. You know, you always want to put, you know, my filming locations, I put a lot of really detailed effort into the historical stuff. If you look at my filming locations from 5 or 6 years ago, not so great. I'll be the first one to say, not the best videos. But if you watch any of my filming locations in the last 3 or 4 years, I stand by my work, put a lot of effort, put a lot of time, effort, months of watching the same film, and kind of, you know, frame by frame watching where everything is, attempting to find spots that no one else has found. And sometimes you can't do that every day. Sometimes it's hard to do that every day. So sometimes you'll have kind of the more happy-go-lucky, fluffy type of stuff, going to theme parks and things like that. And maybe I do that stuff a little too much. So maybe I need to take a day off. So maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Maybe I won't. But I will see you in the next video. Thanks for listening. The vlog is over. And one last thing, well, a couple of last things. I would like to do some, well, I've already stated I would like to do some road trips, but some of them are extensively across the U.S. And there are, you know, some stipulations and regulations that are not laws, but just like in California, they have stated, you know, their side and what they want. Other ones are as well. So doing cross-country stuff into some of the states, which is I want to do some massive road trips, when will that be possible without having those little gray areas that you will technically be kind of sort of breaking? Also, I wanted to give away not just my ticket, but also my reservation. I have the reservation for April 30th Disneyland, but also a ticket for Disneyland on April 30th. The problem is tickets can be purchased. Those are not as difficult to get anymore. The reservations are gone. So those are like gold. And from what I can tell, you cannot give away, I cannot transfer a reservation. I had thought about doing some sort, just giving it away to someone. But you cannot transfer a reservation. Unless I can figure out how to do that. Or I could just state a time. Here, this is what I'm gonna do. This video, you know, it will be uploaded Florida time, around in the morning, 8:30 a.m., 9 a.m. Let's say 5 p.m. Florida time on the day this video was uploaded. 5 p.m. on the night of this video's upload, I will release my reservation onto the internet. So if you need a reservation, there will probably be a lot of people there waiting, but precisely at 5 p.m. on the nose, I will give up my reservation to Disneyland, and it will pop back up onto the Disneyland website and app. It probably will only last about a millisecond, but that's what I'm going to do. 5 p.m. tonight. Well, the night this video is uploaded. Not tonight, I'm filming it, because I'm filming it, and I'll upload it tomorrow morning. This is the night before. It's kind of confusing, but that's the way I do things. Film during the day, into the early evening, edit afterwards, and then upload the next morning early. 5 p.m. on the night that you're watching this video. If you need a Disneyland reservation, I'm dropping my reservation. And it'll pop up for 1 second. Good luck.